In the last 2 weeks, I created a completely new Etsy shop selling digital downloads, specifically Canva templates, and it took me more than 12 hours to create this new shop, from doing the market research to making the template and finally having my first listing uploaded. I did get suspended in the middle of it, and it took 5 business days for my new shop to be unsuspended. So I'll talk about the suspension part more in this video. I screen recorded every single step that I took when making this new Etsy shop, from doing the market research to making the actual template and how I'm uploading everything. So if you want to learn how to start an Etsy shop from scratch and you don't even have an idea of what you want to do, I will show you everything in this video.
To give you a bit of background, this is the second Etsy shop that I've started. This one is the first Etsy shop that I started in October of last year. So it has been 8 months of me having this Etsy shop. And this is the Etsy shop I share about in all of my monthly update videos. For my first shop, I didn't share what my shop is on YouTube because I don't want you guys clicking into the shop, messing with the conversion rates, and I also mainly wanted to see if I could be successful starting an Etsy shop and not doing any social media promotion and just keeping everything within Etsy and getting sales through Etsy SEO. And I did. So my first shop made more than 3,000 Canadian dollars. And because the shop is not public, I always get questions from you guys on how exactly I'm getting my sales, how I'm designing everything. And so I thought that I would create a second shop to show you everything. You will be able to find my shop on Etsy. So I posted a little snippet of this chart that I have, and a lot of you actually said that you want this. So I will create a link in the video description where you can get access to this thing. And I guess you can use it as a checklist of what to do for when you start your Etsy shop. So with this second shop that I'm creating, I really wanted it to be a legit Etsy shop, like something I could actually see myself selling, and not just because I want to make this YouTube video to show you how to start an Etsy shop. So I took this very seriously, and you can see the market research part took me 5 hours, but then I also spent 30 minutes watching how to use market research tools. So this is a legit shop that I have created. I put in 100% of my effort, and also when I designed the template and I made the listing photos and the listing video, and when I'm uploading everything, I've taken this 100% seriously because I want to show you the quality of the stuff that I'm making, because the quality of the second shop that I'm creating is the same quality of the stuff that I've created in my first shop, which I would say has been successful so far and made $3,000. However, I know that because a lot of you will be looking at my shop, the conversion rate is going to be really, really low, and I've taken that into consideration. I think for me, it's just like a fun idea for me to show you how I do things, because you always ask me so many questions and I wish I could show you, but I don't want to reveal my first Etsy shop, so I made the second one. So let's talk about the market research that I did first. I actually used 4 market research tools. I used Everbee, Sales Samurai, Etsy Hunt, and eRank. For Everbee and Sales Samurai, those 2 companies actually reached out to me way earlier this year, wanting for me to try out their market research tools. So I actually got their premium plans for free, and I just started using them when I was making this second Etsy shop. I do have affiliate links in my video description if you do want to check out Everbee and Sales Samurai. I would say right now I haven't used both of them to the full extent that I can, so I can't give an opinion on how much I like these market research tools, but if you do want to check them out, you can go to my video description and use my link. Also, with Sales Samurai, you can get 20% off, and I've included the code below. With Everbee, there is a basic free plan, so that's why there's no discount code. With eRank and Etsy Hunt, I actually bought them myself. Those companies did not reach out to me. I just wanted to try out some different market research tools, and so that's why I tried out 4 in total. There are more market research tools out there, but 4 is already a lot, and I thought it would be cool to just see how each one of them works in terms of market research. So the first thing I did was I watched market research tools on YouTube about Everbee and Sales Samurai, because those were the 2 that I had initially. I spent 30 minutes on this, and usually I watch videos that are 2 times the speed, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to watch 30 minutes and then play with this myself. The first thing I thought I would do before even doing any market research on Etsy is to actually brain dump all the things that I'm interested in. Because here's the thing, I think that when you are choosing your niche, it's so important for you to choose something that either you have interest in it, or 2, you have some kind of experience in it. So for me, I wrote down there are things that I'm interested in, things that I have experience in. So then what I would do is go into Etsy and go through each of the things that I brain dumped and look at the market research tools. So this one is Everbee, and here's the extension for Everbee. This one is Etsy Hunt, and then this one is Sales Samurai. So at first I started using Sales Samurai, so I clicked on 500 more, and you can see the search volume and competition. So this is search volume per month. This is how much competition there is per month. So if it's just notebook, it's a lot of competition. And from the YouTube videos that I watch, apparently what you're trying to look for is high search volume and low competition. So like, for example, this one has like 3,000 search volume, but the competition is like 400,000. So that's like, I would not do that. But if we're looking for something more specific, so for example, one of the things I found was IVF journal. Let's see if it has that filter. Actually, let's just search IVF. Let's just search IVF journal and see what comes up. I click this one. IVF. So let's take a look at the search volume and competition. So like this one would be really good. Like this has high search volume, so 3,000, and the competition is really low, it's 600. So apparently what we're looking for is if this number and this number are similar, or if this number is smaller than this number, then it's good. I do think if the competition is higher than this number by a little bit, it could be okay as well, depending on like what people are actually selling. You have to take a look at your competitors' stuff. So I did this for all the ideas that I had in my brain dump, and you can see me looking through. This one is, I had an idea to find Airbnb stuff. And then I think under the Airbnb stuff, I saw something for toilet. So then I started searching for toilet. So this is how you can go down the rabbit hole of looking for things. You just search for one thing, look at what's there, look at what has low competition, and then you just keep on searching and searching and searching. And then if you don't want to search anymore on that topic, you just pick one of the other stuff that you have in your brain dump. So here, I love kombucha. I actually used to make my own kombucha, so that's why I searched for kombucha stuff, because when I used to make kombucha, I would like make labels for my kombucha. So I thought maybe there are people who are looking for kombucha things. Okay, here, and then let me pause this for a sec. You'll see that now I'm starting to use Everbee. So let me show you with Everbee. So if you just search something, let's just search IVF journal. And then if we go to product analysis, we can look at all the products in this category. And apparently what I learned from all those YouTube videos that I watched is you can sort for monthly sales or monthly revenue and see which shop is, or yes, which product is making the most sales, and then look at the products. So I clicked into the Ultimate IVF Journal, and then I can take a look at this one. There are some numbers here for like estimated sales and monthly revenue. I did actually wonder if these are correct. So I actually plugged my first Etsy shop into Everbee to check, and it's not that accurate. And then I was just curious about why it's not that accurate. So I did a bit of Googling, and obviously Etsy doesn't release the monthly sales numbers, right? You can only see how much competition there is and how much search volume. So that's what Etsy can show you. So on Everbee's website, it says Etsy doesn't share sales data with anyone. So we built a smart algorithm that uses data such as views, reviews, listing history, and more to make estimates. And this is basically what every single market research tool says. Like, they cannot get actual Etsy sales data, so they have to make an estimate. So that's why you'll find that when you're looking at different market research tools, you'll find that you might think that it's not accurate, and it's true. It is not accurate, and every single market research tool might have a different result or a different like estimated sales number, and that's just how it is. And that's because these companies can't get actual sales data from Etsy, so they have to use their own algorithms to estimate it themselves. So that's why I thought it would be useful to use multiple market research tools. But I also think that you can do market research just without using market research tools if you are confident in your niche. So when I made my first shop, I didn't even use any market research tools. I just was confident in my niche, and the niche did do well, and that's why I made sales. Because sometimes for a really, really small niche, there is no data on these market research tools. Like they're not going to show that there are people searching for this item because it's so niche. But let's say even every single month, if 10 people are searching for that product, and if you're like one of the only ones that is making that product, then you will get sales. And this is partly the reason why my first Etsy shop is doing well. So when I was doing market research, I first used Everbee and Sales Samurai, and then later on I bought Etsy Hunt and eRank just because I was curious to see what other market research tools were like, and because I saw that the results for Everbee and Sales Samurai, they weren't always the same. So I was like, maybe instead of using 2 market research tools, I should use 3 or 4. So I clicked some of them that I was interested in, and I looked for ones where the search volume is lower-ish, and then the competition is like lower-ish. So for example, I would say this one is lower-ish, like Etsy descriptions template, search volume 124, competition 253. I know this is like 2 times the amount of this, but I would say this is still okay, and I feel like I could get into this. So you'll also notice that throughout this entire process, I have this Word document. It's my Braindump Word document, but I also take notes on all the stuff that like I found. Like for example, some ideas. After doing the market research, I found like I could do things related to virtual assistant or CFO resume template, or I even searched like teacher things like classroom stuff, like baby shower things, deodorant label template. So when you are doing your market research, like my notes are super scattered and messy, and that's okay. You don't have to like organize everything super well. Just take notes on stuff, and then you can always come back. One thing I was definitely interested was Etsy listing templates. So I would do some market research, then I would take a look at what people are actually selling. So you can see here, I'm like looking at what people are selling. I'm clicking using the Everbee Chrome extension to see how many sales people are getting. But do remember that the sales data is estimated. Here I'm looking at Sales Samurai again and I basically look at the list of stuff to see if I can like have new ideas, and if I can find things that have low competition. So then I found this other niche, and it's whiskey labels. I think in general, a niche that I found was product labels. And so now I'm researching whiskey label, and for this one, I'm taking a look at Everbee. So Everbee has a similar thing as Sales Samurai where they give you the search volume and the competition, but then Everbee also gives you a keyword score, which I believe I think it's this thing divided by that thing. Okay, yeah, it is search volume divided by competing listings times 1,000. So basically, if the keyword score is higher, that means there is more search volume than there is competition. So it's a good thing. So you're looking for the keyword score being higher, like 77 is better than the 9 that you have here. So I think in Sales Samurai, I found that the deodorant label template was actually, there was some search volume and then really low competition. But then you can see with Everbee that like basically it says there's like nothing. And then the keyword score doesn't even compute it, because I think this is so niche, and I actually think this is a really good niche. You can totally steal this idea, by the way. But the thing is, with really small niches, sometimes with market research tools, I find that they just can't compute the data because the niche is so small. So this is where if you have experience in this industry, then it's really useful. So now I'm doing some more research on labels. I thought about wine labels, maybe wine labels weddings. Oh yeah, I did I did search for like what is actually the keyword score. By the way, if you're confused, like I have a video playing of the entire process. That this is like all screen recorded of me doing the actual keyword research when I was actually doing it in the past 1.5 weeks. So then the other idea I had was Etsy listing photos, Canva templates. And do you know why I thought about this idea? It's because in my previous videos, like I made a demo video on how to make Etsy listing templates, and a lot of you guys wanted it. A lot of you joined my email list because you want something like this. Like you don't know how to make listing photos, so you wanted a template. And so I made that template and I saw, oh my gosh, there's a huge demand for this. And that's why I had the idea that maybe I could sell these on Etsy. So that's why I started looking into it. So you can see I was looking into it. I'll tell you what my conclusion was later on, but you can see that like I'm looking at stuff and then I go back and forth between different ideas that I have. So here I'm looking at soap labels, and I'm just going to skip a little bit. Oh yeah, another thing was roller bottle label template, like super niche stuff. then I would look at actual listings and look at the sales people are getting, take a look at their actual products. And then what I started to do was I had 2 good ideas of things I could do. So that was the Etsy listing photos and that was the product labels, like the deodorant labels, soap labels. So I was actually so conflicted. I was like, I don't know what I should do. I think this was probably maybe 1 or 2 hours into my market research. Out of the 5 hours that I spent, maybe 2 hours. And so I made a table with the good and the bad of each one, so I could kind of put my thoughts down on paper, and so I could make a decision on what niche to pick, because the niche is actually really important. Your Etsy shop is based on this niche. You need to pick a good niche or else you may not make any sales if you pick a niche that is too saturated. But it's not just about whether or not there's low competition or if it's saturated. Like, you can see that with the stuff that I'm typing, a lot of it is about whether I have experience doing that, how easy it is, how hard it is. So with the Etsy listing photos, the good things were I already know how to make them because I make them for my own shop, right? And I know there's demand, like you guys were signing up for my free template. There's also the possibility of you guys buying my product. That was actually something like I considered because I knew that I would share this shop publicly. So I thought maybe I should make an Etsy shop where my subscribers can buy my things, because this is just going to be like a test shop, right? I don't know if I'm actually going to work on this shop as hard as I am working on my first shop. So I thought maybe this could be like an offering that I have for my subscribers. So I did take that into consideration. And then the good thing is a lot of the competitors, they don't show examples of how you could use it. And they don't like actually plug in like their templates into these mockups. And then something else I realized was my competition, they have like ugly listing photos covers. And I thought maybe I could design better. For this one, I thought I could realistically do this myself. But the bad thing is there is actually a lot of competition and a lot of pages. It's like really, really low price. Like I think I saw some that were like $5 or $10 and they have 60 pages of these templates. And so I thought it's just not worth my time. It might not be worth my time to make all these. It's just going to take me so long. And then the price is so low. And then for the other one, the product labels idea that I had, the good thing was the designs are simple. Like it could just be 1 or 2 pages on Canva and then I could sell it for like a couple bucks, $5, $10. So way easier to design than the Etsy listing photos, Canva templates. So that is good. And I did find some niche products like lip balm and deodorant product labels. The bad thing and the hardest thing, probably the biggest challenge I thought I would have is finding the mockups to do for the products. Because I would be, let's say, for example, I'm making a lip balm Canva template, like a label for a lip balm. I would then need to find a photo of a lip balm so that I can put the label on the lip balm. And like I would have to find a mock-up photo for every single product that I do, like lip balm, deodorant, soap, candle. And to me, that just seemed like so much work. Another bad thing is I'm not familiar with like packaging sizes and what actually goes into the design of some of these labels. Like I've never made my own beauty products before, so I would have to research sizes, inches. Like if I'm making a sample deodorant label, I would have to research deodorant ingredients, right? So I can make a sample of what it looks like. So that to me seemed like it's going to take a lot of time. And for each product, I would have to do the research again, like for deodorant, for lip balm. Let's say I do like a perfume label or something, like I would have to do a lot of research. And all of these products have different sizes. I'm taking a look at what is selling well for people, looking into their actual products and just seeing and just thinking to myself, could I actually make something like this? Is this really realistic for me? And how much time is this going to take? And also taking into consideration how much knowledge I have about these things. Okay, right here, I'm like looking at resume stuff. I think I saw something, probably when I was doing research on the listing photos, I saw something about resumes. Oh, and then when I was looking at the resumes, I found something about obituaries and funerals. So then I was researching obituaries and funeral stuff. And I actually think this is a really good niche. I would say it's similar to weddings, like the type of Canva templates you can sell compared to the wedding niche, like the funeral niche. It's kind of like the same kind of designs because you have like invitations to go to funerals and you have what's it called? Like the program for obituaries. But for sure, like the obituary and funeral niche is way smaller than the wedding niche. That's why I was looking into it, because I thought, these things, realistically, I could design these. In my Word document, I created another section for obituary Canva templates. I actually was really, really considering doing obituary Canva templates. And I think when I was researching, a lot of them, they looked very old-fashioned. And a lot of them, they were also designed on I don't know how to pronounce it, Cordial and Template. Like, it's not Canva. They were using like another graphic design website. And so I was wondering, maybe there are people who would want to get like a Canva template instead of a Cordial or template. So the good things were a lot of the competitors, like their designs look outdated. Like, I didn't see a lot of really modern ones that I personally liked. And I thought they were easy to make. I thought, okay, I could probably maybe use my maximum ad spend because there's a lot of search volume. So because there's a lot of search volume, then maybe I could do more ads. I thought it would be easy to do mock-ups, like the obituaries compared to the product labels. The obituaries would be way easier because it's just paper, right? It's not like a deodorant like bottle. But I don't know if maybe Canva is harder to use than these ones. So I would have to research all of these ones as well. The bad thing, and I think this is the main thing that made me not want to do this one, is I don't like the idea of just making funeral related things for my shop. I do think this is a really, really great niche with a lot of opportunity, but I personally just don't want to do that. And another thing I saw was a lot of the shops had so many listings, like 100 obituary templates. And so another thing I was considering was maybe I would have to have a lot of volume. Like I would have to churn out these listings to be successful. Oh, for the obituaries, I did look at niche things like funeral template cancer. Maybe people are looking for specific things if that person passed away from cancer. Oh, and then at this point, I started to use eRank. So I signed up for the free version, and that's why you see here there's upgrade. That's because I didn't pay yet. So I just started using it, and then I was searching for everything again. Like I was searching the labels, the Etsy listing photos, and I think the obituaries as well. It shows similar stuff like searches, the competition. So obviously you would look for the competition where it has green. I was looking at wedding stuff, the funerals. And you can see like when I do market research, it's all over the place. Like this is what I was actually doing when I was doing market research. I would look at one market research tool, then I would go into Etsy and look at the actual products. Then I would go look at market research tools, then go look at the products. Then you just like keep going and going. That's why I ended up spending like 5 hours on my market research. So just keep looking. Oh, did you see that? That was when I found the sorority resume template. So let's go back there. So I was in eRank here, and then I was scrolling. I think this one was when I was searching for wedding stuff, maybe? Actually, I don't know what I was searching for. Oh, I was searching for deodorant label template. I somehow was scrolling down, and then I found sorority resume template, which I found, oh my gosh, look, this is so low. And resumes are something that I did put on my Braindump. Like it's something I was actually interested. I think I'm pretty good at writing resumes. Like when I graduated from university, I only applied for one full-time job with my resume and cover letter, and I got it. That was the government job that I had, the one that I worked for 2 years. So then I started looking into sorority resume templates. And I'm just like looking at a lot of different things, looking at how people are selling it. So I just kept looking at stuff and using the market research tools at the same time. And okay, you can see with the Everbee that the sorority resume template search volume is 157. Competition is high-ish. But then the keyword score is 69. But then remember on eRank, the competition was really low. So that's the thing. When you use multiple market research tools, it might give you like conflicting things. So that's why I was checking on all the market research tools and also looking at Etsy myself to see, could I actually make better designs than these other people? First, I had the idea to do sorority stuff. Then I was like, okay, what about the resume market in general? So then I started looking at different resume stuff. You can see what I'm doing here. Then I go back to looking at sorority stuff because I think that is the best idea. And then I look at Sales Samurai. Okay, so and then we can see here with Sales Samurai, the search volume is 1151. Remember with Everbee, it was like 100 something and the competition was like 2000. So the competition is the same, but then with Sales Samurai, the search volume is 1000. So it is different with different market research tools. That's why I think it's good to use multiple, but I don't think you need like 4 of them. You can pick which one you want to use. Later on, I did actually upgrade my E rank, and then I bought Etsy Hunt as well. So you'll see that later on in this video. So you can see here, I'm just like, it's all over the place. Like I'm looking at sorority stuff, I'm looking at resume stuff. Then I had the idea that maybe I could do internship resumes because I was an intern when I was in university, so I know how to write an internship resumes. I was thinking about what I could do and what I have experience in. So then I looked at resume template for and see what comes up, like resume template for mom, looked at other stuff, or you can just try different characters and see what comes up. So I was just looking for different kinds of ideas.
Okay, so at this point, I decided to upgrade my E rank. So I got the $5.99 per month plan. And then I also decided to get Etsy Hunt. So with Etsy Hunt, there is a Chrome extension, and then I got the $3.99 per month plan. It's very affordable, and I'll show you what the Chrome extension looks like. So when you search for stuff, this is what Etsy Hunt looks like, the views and the competition. But I think this views is like an aggregate. It's like not per month. I forgot what it is, but it is not the same as search volume. Okay, and then this one is Everbee, and then this one loading here is Sales Samurai. Every single time that I get a new market research tool, I kind of just like take a look at what's inside. So with Etsy Hunt here, I'm just looking at what things I can do. Oh, I haven't upgraded yet. So I signed up for the free plan, then I actually upgraded my Etsy Hunt. This is Everbee. I was looking at sorority resume template. Then I was looking at E-rank. I was comparing the Everbee and E-rank results for the same search term. So with Everbee, the average searches per month was 3,000. You can see this is 3,000. And then the Etsy competition, it was like 2,000. So the search data from Everbee and E-rank is not the same. Because if you go back and look at the Everbee one, it's 157 for the search volume. Competition is like the same, but I don't know why Everbee and E-rank, the stuff is not the same. But I think all market research tools, there's going to be different numbers. Yeah, and I think it's just because of the way that their algorithm works or how they collect the data. I don't know. I think it is useful to use multiple market research tools. Don't just use one of them. Okay. Just to give you like perspective, if you don't want to spend money to buy market research tools, the market research you do at the very beginning, the one you do at the very, very beginning when you are deciding your niche. Like I spent a good 5 hours deciding on my niche. For you, like I think finding your niche is the most important thing that you're going to do at the start of starting your Etsy shop. And so I think it is so worth it to invest in market research tools. Like Etsy Hunt was like, I think it was $3.99. E-rank was $5.99. I think Everbee might be the most expensive, $30 a month. And then I think Sales Samurai might be $10 or something. So if you add everything in total, like obviously you don't have to get 4 market research tools like I did, but even having at least 2 of them, I think is really useful. You could sign up for all of these. And there's also other market research tools like Marmalade, and maybe there's one more, but the only other one I can think of is Marmalade, which I haven't tried, but I know that's another one. I would like get all the market research tools. They always have like some kind of a free version, and then you can see what you like, and then you can upgrade the ones that you want to try out. But even if you get all of them, so that's like $30 plus 10 to 40, let's say around $50. You're going to spend $50 in this 1 month on market research tools. And maybe let's say you get Marmalade too. I have no idea how much Marmalade is, but maybe let's say it's $10. You can spend, let's say $60 on market research tools. And because there's nothing else you need to really invest into for your Etsy shop at the beginning, like this $60 is actually really, really worth it, because after this 1 month, you don't need 4 market research tools anymore. If you're just going to use the market research tools to do your keyword research for SEO purposes, I think you might not even need any of them, but maybe like keep 1 or 2 of them. You don't need all 4 or all 5. So at the beginning, I think it does really make sense to invest in market research tools because you're going to spend $60, right? And potentially in 1 year, how much do you want to make in your 1 year on Etsy? Okay, let's say $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. $60 is really nothing when it comes to a business expense. So I don't understand when people don't want to pay for market research tools. Like, have confidence in yourself, okay? That you can make it back. You will make the $60 back. So anyways, what I started to do was I kept researching the sorority resume templates with all the market research tool. I started looking at like different kinds of products, and I'm just going to skip forward a bit and take a look at, so I was looking at here, I'm looking at eRank. So when you start using a new market research tool, you obviously don't know how to use it, right? So that's why when I have a question, let's say for eRank, I wasn't even sure what some of the numbers meant, like average clicks. So then I would search, like, what is that in eRank? So I found average searches is the average monthly searches is based on Etsy data. The average clicks is based on Etsy. I would have to like Google things to learn how to use the market research tools, or I would like watch YouTube videos on how to use the market research tools. So basically I was looking at the sorority resume template, and I figured that this is actually a really, really good niche. Every single market research tool, I mean, they do similar things, but like eRank has Google's, and I think Etsy Hunt has Google stuff too. Maybe Sales Samurai does too. I was like browsing eRank because I didn't really know what it could do. Okay, so then I was looking at the same thing on Etsy Hunt, sorority resume template. Oh yeah, what is the views there? Total number of views for the top 100 listings ranking for this keyword based on real data from Etsy. So this number is not the same as like the search volume per month. It's like another metric that Etsy Hunt is using, just total number of views for the top 100 listings. So I don't know, to be honest, this number is kind of hard for me to grasp. I would have to take a look at a lot of other listings and probably look at the search terms for my first Etsy shop to see what does this number actually mean. Like, I have no idea what this 34 million means. But the good thing is you can see right away that the competition is low for this search term. And this is interesting. You can see the like trend result, which is really interesting because for sororities, I know there's like a recruitment period. It should trend up and down like throughout the year. Oh yeah, I searched how to use Etsy Hunt. Yeah, because like I just don't know how to use it. And then here I'm going back searching for resume stuff because I could make a sorority resume template, but then I also want to branch out right into the resume niche. And here I'm just seeing what else can I create. Oh yeah, did you see what I did there? This is a trick. I can't remember where I learned this. It was in somebody's YouTube video. But basically, if you want to see the best sellers on the Etsy website, you go to all filters, you click for star seller, click star seller, apply. Then the link here, you would change the star seller part to best. So change that to, instead of star, put best seller. And then now you can see like the best selling listings. So then I was looking at this listings, open it in Everbee, and I just keep doing it and keep doing it, keep looking for ideas and trying to validate this niche and see if it is realistic for me to do it. And then a lot of the times I'm just thinking like, these look so amazing. Like this resume template, I would buy this and use it as my own resume. It's really pretty. And I was thinking, yes, maybe I did find a good niche. Like I could start off with sorority resumes, but the resume niche is really like, there's a lot of really good products out there already. And look at the mock-ups. Okay, this is like beautiful. Okay, I was thinking, can I actually make something that is competitive with these kinds of products? Oh yeah, this part is Etsy Hunt, so it is useful. You can see with the tags. I believe Everbee can see tags as well. With Sales Samurai, you can see tags as well, but you have to go into like their back end. Do not quote me on this. Like, if you guys use market research tools, everything I'm saying about these market research tools, take it with a grain of salt. I have not used these for very long, so I'm not familiar with these market research tools at all, but I do think in general it is very helpful. Okay, so another thing I was looking at in general was like for resumes, this listing you have the Google Doc template, then you have the Microsoft Word template, and you have to do a US letter and A4, and this person had like a lot of bonuses. So I'm like, oh my gosh, with resumes, a lot of the resumes on Etsy, you have to do a lot. You have to make Microsoft Word, Google Docs, you know? So I was like, oh my God, is it gonna be a lot of work? So I was like thinking about those things, but I was specifically thinking about doing Canva templates for resumes. So the good part about resumes is just like 1 or 2 pages. It's not like 60 pages like the Etsy listings photos. I did find some niche things, and I also have experience writing good resumes and cover letters. Then there are less Canva resume templates. So I saw a lot of like Word, Google Doc ones, but not a lot of Canva ones. So I think that is an opportunity for me in this niche. And a lot of the resume templates, they have like lorem ipsum, which I hate. I hate lorem ipsum. So I feel like I could make some resume templates with actual sample text. The bad things, there is a lot of competition in general. And a lot of the competition, they have like bonus stuff. And some of the competition, they have Canva and Google Docs and Word, which I cannot do. Like, I'm not making 3 things, okay? And I'm not doing US letter and A4. It's too much work. Another good thing is like the career niche is really big. For example, there's other stuff in the career niche, like there was like job tracker and stuff like that, and job description template. So if I find that later on resume templates are not a good niche, then I could branch out more into career related stuff. Yeah, so I did find like job trackers. There's like job estimate template, a flight attendant. I was looking at flight attendant resumes. Okay, this part. So I think this is like at the end of the 5 hours. Like I finally felt like, okay, I have a couple of options. This is sometimes like what you have to do in the end, where you have to make a decision on what to do. You can't keep doing market research, right? You can't keep doing market research for months and not starting your Etsy shop. You got to start somewhere. You can always pivot later, but for me, I was like, okay, I think I've done enough market research in these 5 hours. This is enough for me to get a good sense of some potential things that I could do. And so I jotted down like, how do I really feel? So what I wrote was the Etsy listing templates, it's too much work, too many pages. Funeral templates, I just don't want to make those. The product labels, I just have no experience. And the resume templates, I actually concluded that this was the best choice for me. It's realistic. It's only like 1 or 2 pages. I have experience doing this. I thought it would be fun. I could like live vicariously through my research on different careers that I wanted to do, or like these careers seem fun, but I didn't do it. Like I've always wanted to work at a coffee shop, but I've never done that. So maybe I'll make a barista resume. Like it's kind of fun. And then I've always wanted to be a flight attendant, but I just never did it. Other things like creative stuff. Ooh, wouldn't it be fun to be a chef? Why don't I make a chef resume? That's what I decided to do. I decided to stick with resume templates for my next Etsy shop, and this is my plan. So I need to open it, make the shop banner, logo, do the policies and everything, and then make the first product, which is sorority resume templates. Okay, and then I want to share with you some real thoughts that I had after I came up with my plan and after I decided on the sorority resume template idea. So like I was resting, eating some fruit, and I had like all these thoughts in my head, like, oh no, can I really do it? So competitive. Will people buy it? Will they be confused? It's gonna be a lot of work. Now I have 2 shops to run. Like, what am I gonna do? I know for a lot of you, when you start an Etsy shop, you're also gonna have a lot of thoughts like this. Like, I'm the same as you. Like, when I'm starting anything, I'm gonna have a lot of doubts and hesitations. And then my conclusion was, I'm just going to do it. Even if it is just for this demo tutorial for YouTube, I'm just going to make 1 resume template. Just make 1 resume template, open the shop, put it in the shop. And even if I don't continue the shop, even if I get too burnt out, or if I don't feel like continuing the shop, or I don't know, for whatever reason, at least I will have made this demo video for all of you to see. And maybe this will help you start your Etsy shop. Yeah, if it doesn't sell, whatever, just move on. I will have learned a lot of things. So better Canva skills, better resume skills. I can give resume advice to friends because I've looked at hundreds of resumes, right, at this point. And I can research like interesting careers and help people on YouTube just to see my process. If it doesn't go well, maybe I can try something in the career niche and see how it goes. So at this point, I am on day 5 of working on this Etsy shop. So the first 4 days I spent on market research. Day 5, I started to finally design the template. Oh my God, I've been talking for so long. I've been talking for more than an hour to film this video. Give this video a thumbs up because my throat is really dry. I'm doing this for all of you. Please give this a thumbs up. Thumbs up if this is helpful. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how I started to design the template. So I made a plan of what I'm going to do. So the first thing I did was research existing templates, make a list of what to include. This is just general. Read some blogs of how sororities hire. Use existing Canva template as a base to make my own template. If you're curious about my process for designing an entirely new template from scratch, I'm actually going to create another video showing you how to do this because this current video is so long already and I don't want to spend like one more hour explaining how I'm designing everything. And at this point, I'm pretty happy with it. I decided to finally start my Etsy shop. I created a new Gmail account for my new Etsy shop, but if you currently don't have an Etsy shop, you can just use your own Gmail because right now my email is tied to my other Etsy account. You cannot use the same email. So I had to create a new email. I came up with a name. It's Lulu. Like my name is Dina Lu. The thing is, a lot of people who watch my videos on YouTube try to find my first Etsy shop. So they'll search Dina Lu Etsy shop in Etsy. So that's why I am using Lulu. So people will not find my shop and be like, Dina, you were lying. Why do you only have one listing? How are you making $3,000? You are a liar. That's why I'm using Lulu. You might not know, but you can get 40 free Etsy listings. I'm not going to provide my link because for my first shop, I actually already have enough. Like when you get 40 free listings, I also get 40 free listings. I was getting way too many emails about it. So what you can do, so if you all go to, because I want you guys to all help each other and get 40 free listings, you can give somebody 40 free listings, you can get 40 free listings. So actually, if you just search Etsy, get 40 free listings, then click the one from Etsy, open your shop and list your first 40 items for free. Then this is going to be your link, okay? This is your link for 40 free items that you can give to anybody when somebody uses their link to create the shop. Oh, by the way, you can create your account, but don't open the shop yet. It's better if you don't even, I don't know if you need an account first, but anyways, if you do not have an Etsy account, click somebody's link so you can get 40 free listings. To help out everybody here, what you can do is you actually cannot comment a link in a YouTube comment. So instead, you can just put this code. Everybody go look in my YouTube comments below, copy paste the code from somebody else, and then put https://etsy.me/ and then somebody else's code. So you can get 40 free listings, somebody else can get 40 free listings, okay? So put that in the comments. We can help out everybody because right now I already have like 300 free listings in my first shop. So I don't need any more free listings. So here I clicked and got 40 free listings, and Etsy makes you just click a bunch of stuff. So I clicked the stuff, finally started my shop. So before I came up with LuluCreativeHouse, I actually had other ideas like Lulu Creative Shop or like Lulu Designs, like Lulu Creative Designs. I came up with a bunch of things, but in the end, I Googled those names, but there were already existing businesses that have that name. Nobody has LuluCreativeHouse, so that's why I decided to name my shop LuluCreativeHouse. Okay, and then Etsy makes you upload a listing. So I just uploaded, I tried to get out of it, but I couldn't. I uploaded a random thing. I just like put in random stuff. They just kind of make you make a listing, so I had to put in random stuff. The funny thing is, it was actually posted. You cannot save it as a draft. So I posted my first listing, which was like a random thing. Later on, I had to go back and unlist that listing. And then Etsy also asks you like other things like, are you an individual? Are you a business? For me, I am a business. I have a Canadian corporation. I did fill out all of these things off screen. And then for your shop, there's like a bunch of things you need to add, like logo, cover photo, policies, and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, mental note, I will do that, but I'll do that later. I first wanted to create the shop. Also, when you create your shop, Etsy's going to ask you to upload documents to verify your business. So make sure you upload those documents right away. I did not upload those documents right away, and then my shop was suspended, and then I actually uploaded the wrong document. I added something that did not meet the requirements of proof of my business. In the meantime, I was like, okay, let me actually make the template and make the listing photos and stuff like that. So I made a copy of my workspace, then I named it template. Then usually what I do for the actual template that the customer gets, I will delete the photos and just change the name to your name, but I'll keep everything else inside so they have like a sample. I delete the photo just so it looks more like a template. And for all my templates, I always make another color scheme, mostly because for in the like listing photos, it's just nice for customers to see another color scheme. So you can see, oh, hey, you can change the color on Canva, and you can make it fit your own branding. You can put your own photo in. So that's why I create 2 color schemes. I came up with another name, Sarah Jamieson. I put in another photo. Yeah, duplicate it. So now I have 4 pages in my template. I have the resume for Terry Jamieson, cover letter Terry Jamieson, and then I have the Sarah one that is purple. So this is the template that the customer will actually get when they buy my listing. I'm just changing it to your name so it just looks like a template. The next thing I'm doing, I'm making a PDF document, because when your customer buys something from you on Etsy and you're selling a digital product, you can add up to, I think it's 5 files. But the thing is, you're selling a freaking Canva template. You cannot add a Canva template to your Etsy. It's not a file, right? It's a link to a website. So you need to create a PDF that has the link to the Canva. Okay, this is like not what I'm actually selling on my first Etsy shop. I made another demo video on how to upload Etsy listings. So this is the demo PDF that I made. So I literally just took my own demo PDF for a YouTube tutorial, and then now I am changing it up for the sorority resume template. So when I was working on this, like, I think this PDF is actually okay, but also I don't have like a bonus video. I don't have another A4 template. So then it was like looking pretty bare. So I thought, I do not like the look of this. I'm just going to come up with another look for this PDF. I'm done except for adding the photos on this side of it. Now I'm like, okay, I'm going to make listing photos. This is also something that you can get access to. So I have like a listing photos template that I made for my YouTube subscribers. I will put a link in the description where you can download it. This is also another tutorial that I made on how to make listing photos. So this is not what my actual listing photos look like in my first shop, but I decided I already have this template that I made for my YouTube subscribers. I'm going to use it for this resume thing. So I start to plug in things for the sorority resume. Oh yeah, before I did that, I downloaded all those images, the images for the template with no photos and your name, and the images from the workspace, the ones with the photos, because I'm going to use both of these in the listing photos. So I am just formatting everything. Let me explain something. So I started doing this. I added like a title and stuff. I put the cover letter and the resume there. But then I went to look at how other people format their listing photos. And for most of them, I noticed that they don't really write resume on it. Like, they literally just have a photo of the resume, and most of them are not like a full page resume. They only put 2/3 of the resume, and I think this looks pretty good. I thought, okay, I'm gonna do that too. So then I thought, I'm gonna scrap this. I am not going to put a title anymore. I'm actually going to just put the resume itself. Okay, so then I thought, okay, let me just put the resume, but what should I do with the cover letter? So I just like move things around, do that. This is pretty much what I came up with, to make the cover letter smaller and to highlight the actual resume. That is, in the end, what I came up with. And I thought, just add a squiggly line. Maybe the background looks kind of empty. I'm just going to see if I can make the background look nicer. Like, your product could be really good, but if your listing photos suck, then you're not going to get sales. So I thought, okay, this is like pretty much what it looks like. Okay, then I start making the other listing photos. After this video, if you want to learn more about how I make listing photos, watch my listing photos tutorial. I also show you how I make the video. You can see, this is why I have like another color scheme, because I want to show people that yes, you can customize it to fit what you want. So your customer can be like, oh yeah, I can imagine me changing it so it looks like it's my resume. And I think a highlight of mine is there's no lorem ipsum. Like, I actually have all the sample text there. So I made a page called No Lorem Ipsum Resume and Cover Letter. And then I was looking at the mock-ups that are already in Canva. I was just, because I think Canva recently updated their image editor thingy. So there's like a lot of new things that I'm not familiar with right now. So I was just experimenting. So I'm taking things from my demo template, the listing photos, and then just like using it in this one. Get into your dream sorority. So here's a marketing trick. When you're selling something, you're not selling the product. What do people actually want when they're buying this resume template? They want to get into a sorority that they want to get into. So that is the goal. That is what I'm doing with my marketing. Get into your dream sorority. It's not, this resume template is the best, buy it. It is, do you want to get into your dream sorority? Right now I'm making the how it works page. This is how it looks like in the end. So here in the what's included, I put the image with the blank photo. That's why I had to make one with the photos and one without the photos. Okay, so at this point, I'm pretty much done the listing photos. I'm deleting the ones that aren't the ones I'm going to use. I thought it would be nice to just put one more mock-up
because you can have 10 photos, and yes, it is 10 photos in total. But I think for this mock-up I had 8.
Something useful I want to show you is how I organize my Canva. So for each new Etsy listing that I create, I have a project, which is basically a folder. So project is a folder. In each folder, I have 4 documents. The 4 documents are my workspace, template, marketing, and access. And that is the order that I work on the documents. The first one is workspace. Workspace is a place where I brain dump everything. So even before I start working on the template, I have brain dumping like ideas of other Canva templates that I like, and I can take inspiration from these. So you can see that the one I took inspiration from is this one, and that's how I designed this template here. The second document that I have in my Canva is called the template. This is similar to the workspace, but this is what the customer actually gets when they buy the listing. So the template is the template without the photos, so without the sample photos, and then I also change the name part to your name, and I leave everything else right here. The next thing that I work on is the marketing listing photos. So here are the marketing photos that I made for this template. And the last thing I have is the access document. This is the PDF that the customer gets when they buy the template. So they have a link to the template, and I have a tiny URL link just in case the link doesn't work and they can't click this for whatever reason.
Making the video for the listing photo. So I downloaded the template, so now this is like a PDF of the sample template. Then what I did was I started to screen record me going down the template, downloading one marketing photo because I'm going to use CapCut, and I'm going to put in the marketing photo so I have the right size for the video. Okay, I think one thing I missed explaining was what I screen recorded in the video, and it was actually me, I'll show you. It's like me working on the Canva template and adding in the photos. For the video, I believe it has to be longer than 5 seconds, so mine are always between like 6 to 9 seconds. In CapCut, there is a place where you can change the speed. I actually don't use CapCut to do it. I usually use DaVinci Resolve. For you, CapCut is totally good. You can change the speed and everything. Okay, then I export the video. Then I'm making the cover banner now, and I just googled what size should the Etsy banner be, and I believe there are 2 banner sizes, so I just picked one, and then I made a custom size in Canva. And to make the banner, I just look at existing banners, what is on Canva, what looks good to me, select a couple. So those are ones that I liked. I wanted to use the same font, so I was copying from my marketing photos. Okay, and this is what my final banner looked like in the end. So the banner, the logo, and updating some settings in my Etsy took 35 minutes. I think probably the banner took 8 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. So now I'm making the shop icon, which is like the shop logo photo. I basically do the same thing, and in the end, this is what the shop logo looked like. You can always go back and change it. I'm not super duper satisfied with this, but it's like whatever. It's good enough. Just put a photo there. Probably took me like 5 minutes. So I'm adding it to my shop. I'm also just like filling out some of the stuff, and you'll see that my shop is suspended because Etsy is still verifying my company documents. That's why my shop is currently suspended. And then I also added a picture of myself. I live in Vancouver, Canada, but for my 2 Etsy shops, I'm putting a location in the US because most of my customers will be from the US. So I want to just put that I'm in the US. I put Seattle because Seattle's like right south of Vancouver. I've been there before. I like it. I put Seattle. It's also the same time zone.
So I have good news for you. After 5 business days, my shop finally got unsuspended because they double checked my documents and everything was good. So now we're into day 9 of me working on this Etsy shop, and I'll show you exactly what I did. The next step I did was I updated my Etsy policies, returns and exchanges, cancellations, and then I'll show you how I uploaded my first listing. So the first one I did was returns and exchanges. Get started with a simple policy. I clicked use simple policy. Then I just said no returns, no exchanges because we're selling digital products, so we don't want any returns or exchanges. Then it was the cancellation. So I created a policy where I don't accept cancellations. Now is the privacy policy. So Etsy actually has a sample privacy policy that you can work off of, and they tell you, yes, you can work off of this, but you have to revise it so it fits what you are doing in your shop. So I basically read through the whole thing and then I copy pasted. So I just read through everything and delete the stuff that I don't need, or I just change the stuff to fit what I am doing. Oh yeah, and then when I copy pasted, I noticed that there were no bullet points and no spaces. So I added spaces in between the bullet points. I had to like Google for a bullet point. You can see I'm like copying a bullet point over, and then I'm putting in those bullet points and then adding space in between. And then for the last part, I'm just changing the name to LuluCreativeHouse. And then when we're done, I just was reading through the whole thing. Next thing I did was to add a banner. So remember, I already made a banner. I just have to upload it. So I couldn't remember if it was the big banner or the mini banner. So I chose the mini banner size, and it was obviously not working out. So I chose the big banner size, and then like totally made sense and everything looked good. Then I went to options and I just like double checked everything and made sure that I'm okay with everything. One thing I did change here is I don't want shoppers to be able to see what my sold listings are, because also competitors can also see what exactly you are selling. And so I clicked no, hide them. So doing that took about 15 minutes. And then for another 35 minutes, I upload my new listing. So I'll show you my process for doing that. So I go into my Canva and get the template link for the template I created for the customer. Then I also create a new link with tiny URL because I want to put one link here, and then I want to put a tiny URL link here just in case the link doesn't work or the customer, there's some problem with clicking the hyperlink. So I want to have the link here as well. I put in the images of what the template looks like, and then I save this whole thing as a PDF. So this is the PDF that the customer is going to be able to download. And then once the customer downloads this PDF, they can click this link and get access to the template. So now I'm just like adding in the photos, and then I'm working on the actual listing. So remember when we did market research, like I took notes on what other people are using for their keywords and stuff. So I took a bit of notes on that, and then I'm just like working off of that for when I actually do my keywords here. Yeah, so rush, resume, cover letter, make sure I have the word Canva in there. I am just doing what I think makes sense. You should be using market research tools to work on your SEO, but for this sorority resume cover letter, I'm pretty confident in my keywords and what people are going to be searching for. So I'm just like typing it out right now. So then I did do a little bit of research in Etsy just to take a look at what people are doing. So I noticed that when I search sorority resume template, there is one result that says sorority resume template with photo. So then I decided to go back to mine and add the with photo part. I also took a look at a couple of other Etsy listings just to see what keywords they use, and then I made some changes in mine. So I'm just going to skip this part. So I took a look at what other people are doing, and then I made some changes with mine. I decided not to put in the pink. Okay, so then with the photos, once I uploaded them, they're like always in the wrong order, which is super, super annoying. So I have to like go back and check what is the order that I want them in, and then I just like drag it to like the 1, 2, 3, or 4 placing. So I'm just like rearranging the photos here. Oh yeah, and I also uploaded the video here. You can see the video. Okay, so then I decided to put in the price. So I looked at what other people were charging. I could see some were $20, $15, $3, $8, $11. So I thought, okay, between $3 and $20, I should probably pick a price. And so I decided to put $10 because I thought, okay, that is kind of like the average of those prices, and this is like a new shop, so I don't want to charge too high because right now I don't have any reviews, so I just put $10. You can always go back and change the price later. So now I am working on the description, and for the first paragraph of the description, I always try to write something that sounds natural but then has the keywords in it. So I said, get into your dream sorority with this sorority resume template and matching cover letter Canva template. So I said the word sorority like 2 times, and then template I think I said 2 times as well. I also look at what other people are doing and adjust it based on what I think is going to work. So at first I put get into your dream sorority, but I thought it would be better to actually put editable sorority resume template in the first like 4 words. That is probably going to have a better result. And then I did add the get into your dream sorority part. So I just put what I think makes sense. And then for the other parts of the description, I basically copy over what I have in the marketing photos. So I'm copying over like, because in the marketing photos, my features are that I have like no lorem ipsum, it's fully customizable on a free Canva account. So I basically just copy over what I have in the marketing photos. And this is like the how it works section. So I also put that in as well. And then at the end, I always like to put something about if they have any questions, then they can like send me a message. Yeah, so this is the part where it has all the features. So basically I have an introduction with my keywords, then I have my features, then I have how it works, and then at the bottom I have how to contact me if you have any questions. So for details, I'm adding core details, it's digital files, I made it, it's a finished product, and then switch to digital listing, yes. For category, I just searched resume, and there was a category for a resume template, so I just selected that one. And then I skip like the color stuff. And then now I'm working on the tags. So you should probably be using market research tools, but for this one, it's super niche and I'm pretty confident in my tags. So I just put in these tags. And it's really annoying because you can only have like 20 characters. So I can't write something like sorority resume template. That's why I put sorority resume and like sorority template. I can't put sorority resume template. So you have to kind of work around with your wording because you can only have 20 characters. It's really annoying. Shop section. So that's like the category. So I made a new section called sorority resume and then feature this listing. Yeah, why not? I'm only going to have one listing. Oh, I think I just like go back and double check everything, checking the video and everything. And you know what I realized? So for the thumbnail, I actually didn't like how this Canva circle is cut out. And so what I decided to do was to actually change it and move it so that it isn't cut out. So I just like moved it to the other side and then I just re-uploaded that cover image. For the cover image, I always pay a lot more attention to it because that's like the first impression you're going to give to your potential customer, right? So I always want to make sure that the thumbnail of the first photo is good and nothing's like cut out. So I changed it and then I'm just like moving it around. So now the Canva is in the middle here and you can see everything. So this is the final cover image. I think that looks pretty good. I can't remember if I showed you this part, but obviously you have to upload that PDF document that has the link to the Canva template. So I uploaded that one and just checking everything and then I publish it. So this is the actual listing. Yes, you can go on Etsy and look for my shop. You can find this listing and you can see everything that I've done. Oh yeah, if you're getting a lot of value out of this tutorial, because I have been spending hours and hours and hours making this for you, click the thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more like this. Oh yeah, and also let me know in the comments what you found the most useful about this tutorial. So now what I'm doing is actually creating daily sales for my Etsy shop. So every day I came up with like a percentage. Usually I do like 10%, 15%, 20%. Sometimes I'll do 30 or 40%. And then I'll just name it like, for example, for this one, I named it, it's a sale for July 1st to July 1st. So I just do like a sale every single day. Because, okay, and the reason why I do this is when I first started my Etsy shop, I would see that my competitors were offering a sale every single day and it would be like a different percentage. And I thought that was so smart. If you just go to any search result, you'll see that if people have a sale, there's going to be like a green thing. So for example, this one doesn't have a sale going on. It's just like, it's just black, but then this one has a sale going and it ends in 5 hours. So if it's within, if it's within 24 hours or maybe 12 hours, then it's going to say sale ends in blah, blah, blah. So if you're just scrolling, doesn't this one just pop out more to you? And you're more likely to click on it because it says it's like green and it says sale ends in 5 hours. Also, it creates urgency for the customer. So if we look and keep scrolling, you'll see that most of them don't have the green thingy, like this is not, but this one does. So if it's green, to me, it seems more clickable and it's like, ooh, it's like on sale. That's why for my first Etsy shop and also the second one that I'm creating, usually I do like a sale every day. I did try to do a sale every other day, but I just think it makes sense to have a sale going on every single day, even if it's like 10 or 15% off. And if you think, oh, I just don't want to have a sale every day because it signals to the customer that, oh, I always have a sale, I actually don't think that customers are on Etsy every single day looking for templates and they're like waiting for you to have a sale. Like for me, if I'm on Etsy wanting to buy something, I mean, the stuff people sell on Etsy, it's like $10 or $20, right? At least in this niche. So I don't think they're checking Etsy every single day to see like, oh my God, I hope this shop can give me 40% off today. Like, I think if they just see like 10%, 15% off, they're just gonna buy it, or there might not even be a sale and they're just gonna buy it because it's such like a low ticket offer. It's not like $100 or $200, right? Okay, and then what you can see here, so now I am making like abandoned cart promo codes, favorited item, and like thank you promo codes. Okay, and then now you can see all the sales that I have. Oh yeah, and then like because I do sales every single day, right? At the start, I would do them like every single week. Now I do them every single month. So every single month, I'll create 30 different sales. It takes me like 10 minutes, but you can start doing it every week or you can do it every month. So I just like created a reminder in my calendar to create new Etsy sales for my new shop. Okay, next thing I'm doing is to write a shop announcement because they can see that in your shop. Let me show you. So this shop announcement that I'm creating right here is the announcement that I wrote. I could have written a bit more, but I just put this for now. I can always go back and change it. So this entire process of creating this new shop, doing the market research, creating the template and everything, this took me 15 days from the start to finish. And I actually worked on it 9 days out of the 15 days. That's because I had rest days in between. The total time that I spent from starting this from scratch to having my shop published and with one listing, it took 12 hours. So I think 12 hours is actually pretty short for somebody starting a new shop. I think for my first ever shop that I started, it probably took 3 times as long because like designing the first template, like here it says I did it for 2 hours and 30 minutes. I already have 40 something listings in my other shop, right? So I've designed 40 things. But the thing is, when I was creating my first ever template, I think it probably took me like 20 hours, maybe even 30 hours to create the first one. And then the marketing photos. So here it says I took 1 hour, 35 minutes to create my marketing photos for my first ever shop. And for the first listing, I think it probably took at least 10 hours to do it because I was starting from scratch, right? Like right here, I am using a template that I created for myself, which you can all get access to. So that's why it only took 1.5 hours. So if you're looking at this and thinking, wow, Dina spent 12 hours making a new shop, it's actually not that much time. But I think if this is your first time doing this for the very, very first time, you need to take this 12 hours and multiply it by 3 or 4 or 5. I think that is realistically how much time you're going to spend on starting a new shop and like coming up with the idea, doing the market research, and then having your first listing published and everything in the shop set up. I think it's going to take 30 hours. Oh, and I did make this into like a Google Doc. So if you do want to use this for reference as like a checklist for you starting your Etsy shop, you can get access to this in the video description. I'll put a link there. This video has honestly taken me so long to do. It took me 12 hours to start the new shop, and then it probably took me 10 hours to put this video together. So please give this video a thumbs up because I spent so much time working on this, and leave a comment and let me know what was the most useful thing about this video. I know for the design part, I skipped over a lot of it, and that's because I actually want to create a completely new video on how to design a new template from scratch. So subscribe to my channel because I'm going to come out with that very soon.